Welcome to this episode of The Culinary Voice. I'm your host, Manushi Shah, and today I'm going to be bringing on a really good friend of mine. She's a self-taught, multi-award-winning cake artist, having won 14 awards over the last decade. Her company, Sweet Sensations, has been featured in many well-known publications all across the U.S. She's an honorary excellence cake artist, ambassador for Satin Ice, and many other leading brands in the pastry industry. You can watch her on TV on Netflix's Is It Cake, which she was a top 3 finalist for. She was the winner of the Big Bake Championship Season 10 on the Food Network in 2022. Now, I could go on and on and on, but I'd love to chat with the master herself. So without further ado, please welcome Hemu Basu.
Hi Manushi,
Hi.
Thanks for having me here.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Me too. Let's do it.
So, I've known you for a really long time. You're like family to me and to my parents, and we've been there since you ever first started,
Right.
So I'm really excited about our conversation, and we'll get right into it. Let's talk about again how you started off in the pastry industry.
So Manushi, as you know, I'm a self-taught artist. I haven't been to any pastry school, no culinary school. It's just I started baking cakes in 2013. So it happened, my son asked me, "Mom, can you make me a fire truck cake?" And I was like, how to make a fire truck cake? Because I just used to bake simple cakes,
Yes.
just round cake with chocolate drizzled on top, some cupcakes on the side, and that's it. That's what I was. And he was very adamant on getting a fire truck cake. And I was like, man. Okay, so I went to the library. That time we were in Scotland.
Okay.
We moved to Texas in 2015.
Okay.
So I started in 2013. This is the story from 2013 in
Yes.
Scotland. So he asked me, and then I went to library. I found this book called Birthday Cakes by Annie Rick, and she had all the instructions like how to make a cake, sculpt a cake, and I made the cake. Like I sculpted my very first cake.
Yes.
And in the party, everyone was like, "Hey, where did you order this cake from?" And I was like, "Oh my God, does it look this good that people are thinking I ordered it from a bakery?"
Yeah.
But I kept quiet until they tasted the cake. I was like, if it will taste good, I'm going to reveal new talented baker in the town.
Yes.
But if it will taste bad, I'm going to blame it to the corner bakery. That was my plan. But thank God it tasted amazing, and I revealed that, hey, I made the cake myself. And everyone was shocked, and they were like, okay, you're making this cake, you're making my husband's cake,
Yeah.
you're making my daughter's cake. That's how it all started, from friends and family.
Yeah, it must have been like a great big self-realization, and to
Yes.
you and your family.
It was
Yeah.
like I was learning with each and every creation, each and
Yeah.
every cake I made.
Yeah.
And now I cannot believe myself that where I am right now, it happened from just a fire truck cake.
Yeah, thanks to your
it
son.
started from-
Shout out to your
Yes.
son.
He
Thanks
asked for
being
royalty.
Yeah.
He's like, "Mom, if you open a bakery, I'm gonna ask for royalty." I'm like,
Yeah, as he should.
calm down.
No, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. So, what is your philosophy when you're baking new cakes and creating new pastries?
So when I'm baking a cake, I just don't want to be a normal baker, a standard baker. Like I don't want to be a chain bakery. So you have seen my work. So my
Yes.
work speaks for itself. It speaks about the details. The details I put in on my work is like something else.
It's
Like,
amazing. Yeah,
yes.
it's every cake is a statement cake.
Yeah, so every time I look for the different cakes. So it happened when I started doing the cakes. People that time frozen was very much in.
Yes.
Yeah. So everyone after doing 3 or 4 frozen cakes, I was like, that's it. I'm not going to make
Frozen
any
down.
more frozen cake. So my client called me and she was like, "Hey, can you make me a cake?" And I was like, "No frozen, no frozen, no frozen." And she was like, "Can you make me a frozen cake?" I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm booked for the day." I hope she's not watching it. So yeah, it's all about the details and creating new stuff.
Right. So, what is the most memorable cake that you've made to this date?
So the most memorable cake I made to this date was, it's hard to tell, I've made so many. Halloween Wars,
Okay.
the finale of the show.
Okay.
I made this 5 or 6 feet tall clown cake, and judges were like going crazy over it. They were
Yeah.
like, oh, we're having goosebumps, the texture on the cake, and that I'm
It was realistic,
So
super,
Shin Min
yeah.
Lee, the judge, I still remember, she said like, I am going to have a nightmare tonight, or I don't know for how many nights after looking at this cake.
Wow.
Because it had all those details when I was creating it.
Yeah.
So I kept the intestine open, like it was kind of falling out.
Yeah.
And they were coming to me, Hemu, no more gore, no more gore, no more red. You cannot use red. And I was like, oh my God, this is Halloween show. It's not a Disney show,
It's
you know?
supposed to be spooky.
Yeah, it has to be like
Yeah.
scary. And they were
Yeah.
like, you need to cover that. I'm like,
So that's when you
how?
know, like you did a really good job. You
Yes.
really did the assignment
Yes,
right. And yeah.
And they were like, you have to cover this red. And I was like, how to cover this red? Like intestine is the intestine color.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, you have to, because a 3-year-old watches our show. And I was like, oh man, okay.
Oh my
So
God.
I had to airbrush it dark brown or blackish so it doesn't
Just to
show
dial it
off.
down
Yeah,
a little
just-
bit.
Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's insane. Yeah. So you're originally from India, you know, so that makes you like an immigrant here in the States. So let's talk about your immigrant journey. You know, what are some struggles that you faced after opening up Sweet Sensations, and what are you proud of, like most proud of so far?
So far, like, I started my cake journey from Scotland, as you know.
Yes.
So there I had the difficulties, because I'm self-taught, there I had the difficulties of not having enough knowledge.
Okay.
There were no schools who teach this kind of art. So everything was, you know, just try and error.
Yeah.
Try and learn on with your own mistakes what you're doing.
Yeah.
So when I moved here from Aberdeen, moving to Houston, like Texas, it's a huge difference with the weather and with the clients as well.
Yeah,
Because
culture,
I had to build my business from zero clients.
Right.
Because I knew no one. I met you guys here,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Remember?
yes.
So I can say difficulties was just mainly that I'm self-taught.
Yes.
Other than I didn't had any problem,
yes,
like the
yes.
huge problem.
Yes.
Because I was so determined that I have to make it work.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. No, that's completely understandable. So you've won so many awards, and I couldn't be prouder of that fact.
Thank you.
But from all the awards, what is your most proudest win, and why?
So the most, except the TV stuff, I can say the most proudest is 2 years in a row Cake Artist of the Year for Houston's Baker Guild. It's like your own people are recognizing your work.
Yes.
Your own community is recognizing your
Yes.
work and giving you what you always wanted.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's my. So I won this year and the last year.
That's
2 year in
amazing.
a row Cake Artist of the Year for Home Bakers.
That's
Guild.
amazing.
Yeah,
That's
thank
amazing.
you.
And the future is going to have so many more awards.
Thank you so much.
You know, to come. So that'll be amazing. And you know, with you, like you do so many creative cakes. Like there's every cake is so different from each other. You've made 2 of my cakes, you know, for some really important life events, and they're something I'm gonna always remember. They were amazing and beautiful, and they were a surprise to me, and you were in on it with my parents. So you did a great job surprising that, and it was just absolutely amazing. But what keeps your creativity going from cake to cake? Like, what is your greatest inspiration for that?
I think I am actually myself very creative, and as I said, I get bored very easily.
Yes.
So I'm keep looking at the inspiration. Like I'm looking at this flower pot right there, and I was like, oh, I can turn it into a cake. I'm looking at this cup. Oh, I can turn it into a cake. So everywhere I go, if I'm going to someone's house, or if I'm looking at any showpiece, or looking at anything, the first thing comes to my mind is like, oh, I can turn it into a cake.
Yeah.
How cool that would be. Like even I'm looking at any texture, like this texture marble right here, I'm looking at like, oh, this marble texture will look so cool on a white cake, like, you know, gray, and then add some gold touch, or
maybe
just
some pearls or
sparkle and
something.
pearls. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So That's
No,
it.
that's great. And you're really close to your family as well.
Yes.
And I know, like, you started off this whole thing, because of your son.
Yes.
So that's like amazing.
Yes.
And let's talk about your support system.
So everyone at my house supports my business and me. My husband is the biggest support ever. Like, I can't even remember when the last time I cooked the food at the house, because I'm always busy traveling, working, teaching, and making cakes for all these clients. So I hardly get any time. So he's the one taking care of everything at back home,
Yeah.
cooking. And he works for all companies. So he's not like household husband.
Yes.
But he gives me so much love.
Yes.
Doing all these things, And my kids, oh my God, my daughter is an artist herself. She's
Yes.
going to SCAD. She's going to pursue her career in fine arts. So she is like, suppose if I'm making a cake and I think like, oh my God, it looks amazing. It's completed. And she will come, Mom, you need to fix this. You need to do this. You need to add a bit more. I'm like, oh my God, now I have to spend another half an hour or 1 hour on this.
Yeah, perfecting
because she said that, like, and my son is also like they all help me. They all
and they're
help me
both
so
really
much.
creative too,
Yes,
which I've
they
seen for
are.
myself.
Yes, they
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
I guess they're wearing my jeans.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. And so you started this almost nearly a decade ago, but when did you start competing, like formally competing, putting yourself out there on the platforms and starting earning the recognition by everyone?
So I started competing in 2016, but before that, when I was in Scotland, I went to a Cake International show. It's the biggest show in the world, and it happens every year in Birmingham, UK.
Yes.
So from Aberdeen, Scotland, I traveled to Birmingham just to have a feel of the cake show, like how it looks, how the competition pieces are, how the cake pieces are displayed there. Before that, I was so proud of myself, like, oh my God, I'm doing the great stuff. Like, I make such beautiful cakes. I walked into the show, the competition floor, and I was walking and my jaw dropped. The amount of talent on that show was, like, it inspired me so much. I was like, one day I'm going to compete on the shows with pieces like this. And I was like, man, I do nothing. It was an eye-opener. I was like, I do nothing. I do just crap work. Like, I don't do nothing. Yeah. So, but after that, we were in the moving process to Texas, to Houston. And then I started competing. After coming here, I started competing in 2016. So I started at the beginner level, and then I went advanced, pro, master. Now the people invite me to judge the show.
Wow, that's so remarkable.
So every competition I won, I got the first place.
Yeah, and everyone has to start somewhere.
Yes.
And the fact that you allowed yourself to be in those doors, watching from like an outsider, and it really must have opened up your eyes, and that must have pushed you to keep on creating, to just unlock another level of yourself.
And now in November, I'm going to teach in that show.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's
so they invited me this year. Hemu, can you come and teach at our show? And I was like,
it's such a full circle moment.
Yeah, it's the fruit, the seed. You're
earning it little by little.
Yeah. Now I'm the seed I planted. I'm eating the fruits right now.
Yes. That's so amazing, and it's just so wonderful to watch, and just be along on this journey with you, and so proud. Thank you. No, that's great. You're a mom of two. And I know they're growing up, but they're still always going to be your babies. But how do you balance that with all the traveling that you've started to do these past few months?
They have seen me from the very young age that mom is a working mom. She's just not a stay-at-home mom. So they started from very young. They have seen me, okay, mom is going to travel, so dad is going to take care. And then I made them very self-dependent on doing the chores, like, you know, you have to do this, you have to do this, like this is your day of the work, like and this is like you have to cook. So he's in 11th grade and she's going to college, but they know everything. Like if I'm not at home, they can take care of themselves. Like they cook, they do their laundry, they do their like room clean, vacuum and everything.
Yeah.
So, and I think when you tell them kids that, hey, I need help, you have to tell to your family that, hey, I need help, you have to help me.
Yes.
Because they're not going to get dreams like, oh, mom needs help with this. You have to ask for it.
You have to be vocal about it.
Yes, you have to ask. It's not in any, like, it's just mom and kids relationship. It's in every relationship that you have to ask for help.
Yes.
Even your staff, like you will be like, hey, you help me with this, you know?
Yes, yes.
So that's my basic, what do you call?
Values.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's very inspirational. What is some pieces of advice you would give to someone that is aspiring to be a cake artist, that's also starting from scratch, that are very young, you know, or even for working moms that are past that time where they feel like this is it, but no, like I actually want to do something, I want to be creative. What are some pieces of advice that you would say to them?
I would say in capital letters, do not give up. It's like I never gave up. When I started, I literally, Manushi, I used to cry.
Yes.
I used to cry like, oh my God, I cannot make this. How, like, I'm not getting any video, how to make this. Everything was trial and error, you know?
Yeah.
So I never gave up.
Yeah.
Because I never gave up, I'm here right now where I am today.
Yeah.
So just give your best, give your 100%. And you have to be passionate about the thing. Like if you're working at the office, like daily 9 to 5 job, if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to enjoy it.
It's going to eat you up.
It's you'll be, one day you'll be tired and you'll be like, you know what, I cannot do this anymore.
Yeah.
So you have to choose what you want to do in your life. Like even if you're like you're painter, you like craft works, like there are so many people who sell their stuff on Etsy, right?
Yes.
Like create something and sell on the Etsy. They're doing this because they have a passion for it.
Yeah.
So every successful story you have seen, the people who are successful, they have a passion for it, and then secondly, they did not give up.
They never
give up.
Yeah.
Like never ever.
The people who don't try never make it. You have to be fearless. You have to try.
Yes.
And that's what this entire industry is about.
You have to see how deep the water is.
You really do.
You have to dive in. Then you will know, right?
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, today you've brought in a few pieces and that I would love to showcase it with the rest of the world. So let's get right to it.
Perfect. Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Manushi?
Yes.
Are you ready to have some fun?
I really am.
Let's create teddy bears, okay?
Okay.
So I have brown fondant here.
Okay.
Light brown fondant.
Okay.
So, okay, let me do this. I'm gonna give you the body parts and then you make it, okay?
Okay.
So, follow me.
Okay.
How I do it. Okay, so roll this. Roll it kind of
cylindrical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this. Okay.
Okay.
Like this. You can get rid of more cone shape, and you can get rid of extra.
Okay.
Like this.
Okay. Sounds
good. So are you having fun?
Yes.
Do you know what it is?
I feel like it's going to be the body.
Yes.
The body of the bear.
And the material are we using?
Fondant.
Yeah, yes. You are a pro.
Yes. So which fondant are we using specifically?
So we are using Satinize.
Shout out to Satinize.
Yes, shout out to Satinize. This is my favorite brand, and as I'm a brand ambassador for them, so it's a very good fondant to use.
I love how smooth it is.
Yes.
It doesn't stick to your hand either.
Nope. No mess.
No mess at all. It's very clean.
So it's going to be head.
Okay.
So you can have it. It's going to be big, so let me.
We can cut off the excess.
Cut off the excess.
I've never shared this with anyone besides my family before, but I actually always dreamt of opening up a bake shop.
Really?
Yeah,
Let's do
bake
it
shop.
then.
Yeah, in the future
Yep.
can
Looks
collab.
good. Yeah.
It's nice.
And then with the lighter fondant, so you're going to create the legs now.
Okay.
Just check if they're equal in size.
Okay.
Normally I weigh them,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
weigh them on the scale.
The scale. Yeah.
Yeah, to see like, so I don't end up making one leg big and one leg small.
Yeah.
And then
Now they're
I'm
the same
going to
size.
make the one end flat. Like
Okay.
that. Just go and make it flat.
Okay.
And then attach the leg.
It's so smooth. It's like not sticky at all.
It's okay, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
We're doing it for fun, so don't get stressed.
These tools are fun to use too. Which tools are they?
So these are these tools are from Innovative Sugarworks.
Okay.
So I use them for all my sculpted cakes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really good modeling tools. Good job.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do the hands.
Okay. You do it so effortlessly. I have to like think. It has to be more defined like yours. She's so good at details. Like. So
Like
this
this.
comes in like all different colors. The
Yes,
fondant.
Yes. And then mostly I what do you call I color them if I need.
And what do you use to color?
like for this I made normally I use gel colors.
Okay.
But right now I just added brown to the white
Okay.
and made it this
Okay.
color.
But it's the same type. You just added a little
Yes,
brown. Okay.
yes, yes.
And a little goes a long way, just
Yeah,
like paint.
yeah.
Okay. I think one is chunkier than the other one, but hopefully it's okay.
And then you can take off the head
Okay.
to just to add the features because that
Okay.
will be easy that way.
Okay.
So
Are we gonna make the eyeballs?
now we are making his nose part.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you enjoy this process, like making the sculptures on the cake?
Yes,
Yes.
I love this process. This is my favorite part, like,
Okay.
making these tiny fondant toppers and then sculpting things. Now we're going
The
to add the eyes.
Eyeballs. Okay.
I'm gonna give you another one. And just make sure they're same size.
Okay. I'm gonna use the tool.
So what we're gonna do, I'm going to make a little den
Oh, we can
here
just
for the eyes.
fill it in.
Yeah. And just fill it in.
Do you usually use any kind of like, is there such thing as like glue?
I do, but mostly I use water to glue
Okay.
it. Now we're going to use the nose. I like to make big nose for the teddy bear
Yeah.
because it is what
Yeah, that's like a main feature.
Yeah, and then you can add a dent here and see if it looks big enough. You can roll it like a sausage,
Okay.
small sausage. Yeah. And I like to add a little bit brows too. But
Yeah?
yeah,
Okay.
so I roll a snake like the words I use.
A snake-like
a
texture.
snake kind of shape, and then just
Oh,
take a
it's so
pinch
cute.
and add it here. Okay.
It's so cute. We have to name these once we're done.
Yeah, and then
Little whiskers.
you can have.
This is the fun part. This could easily be a mustache too.
I know, right? you can give him a mustache if you want to for fun.
Yeah.
Let's give him a mustache.
Okay,
Go for
let's
fun.
do it. Be like a grandpa bear. How should I put this on? The eyebrow.
I know. Oh,
Should I just stick it on?
Yeah. Because we are rolling continuously the fondant in our hands, so it's moist. That's
Okay.
why it will stick.
Oh.
If you add too much water to it, it gets messy.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have seen me, I hardly use any water,
Yeah.
but you can if you want to, but I don't.
I think it's sticking pretty well, actually.
Now at this point, after touching the black fondant, you want to go and wash your hands because whatever you're going to roll,
Oh, the
black
residue.
is going to come.
Eventually, would this bear like dry over time?
Yes.
Yeah, they
will
would.
dry.
Okay.
I prefer to make them in advance. If I have a cake due, suppose 2 days from here,
Okay.
so I will make it today and let it dry.
Okay. So just like right before delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got you.
And just create.
Could I have a little piece of the fondant?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I
Second.
forgot.
No, it's okay.
You're up there. Go get the ears.
It's earless.
And you can do half.
Cut in half. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most difficult sculpture you've made for a cake?
So I did one cake for a cake competition. I got the first place for it. It was 4 feet high cake,
Okay.
4 feet tall, and I made goddess Durga from Hindi mythology.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
You have
yes.
seen that
Yes,
cake,
I have
right?
seen it. I have seen it.
So the theme of the cake was to kill the evil of the society.
Okay.
See this domestic abuse, the child abuse, and all these stuff, where women feel that they are trapped in a relationship.
Yes.
So I showed it like that the evil have roots, and the ladies, like I shown the faces are trapped in the roots.
Yes.
Yeah, and I had written on the cakes like, if you tell anyone, and I saw the lips, and there are abuse marks on their faces and all.
Wow.
So at the show, everyone came up to me and they said to me that, Hemu, this is our story. We feel trapped in
Yeah.
this relationship.
That's
and we want
amazing.
to get out of this relationship.
Yeah.
But we don't know how.
Yeah.
And for that reason, so I got a podcast interview request from UK.
Okay.
So that story went that far that someone reached out to me from
Wow.
UK. So the lady always do the podcast on the domestic abuse.
Yeah.
So she interviewed me and we did a podcast on this very topic.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
it was
See, it
amazing.
touched lives. That's
Yeah,
when you know.
It touched lives
Yeah.
of so many people.
Yeah.
And one lady was crying, like literally crying.
You
to
moved
see
her
the-
with your
Yes, the
cake.
face, so-
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, no, it's amazing for sure.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
I just need this ear to stick a little bit more. It's like falling off. Yay!
Yay!
Aw. Yay, we did it.
You did
Thank
amazing
you.
job.
Thank you. Thank you for teaching me.
10 out of 10.
What are you going to name yours?
Bear.
Bear? Barry? Mine's going to be Rambo. That's
Oh,
my
wow.
puppy's name. So I'm going to name it Rambo.
Or maybe I can call him Laddu because
Oh,
the Indian
yeah,
sweet, I
yeah,
love Laddu.
Laddu.
Like, that's my favorite.
All right,
sweet.
so Barry is now Laddu. There's
Yes.
been a name change.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
think he needed
I
that.
love
Hey,
it.
Laddu.
Yeah, hey Rambo. That was so fun.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
was.
This was really fun, and now I want to showcase the cakes that you've brought here today, and I want to talk about the story behind the cakes, and they're just fabulous. I can't wait for you guys to see it. So this is the cake that we're starting off first. Can you tell me the story behind it?
So this order, I'm making it for a client. It's a custom made order.
Okay.
And apparently this guy's mom, she loves elephants.
Yeah.
So we are creating a scene. She loves the Angkor Temple, Cambodia.
Yeah.
So the elephant is, she's like on the elephant, and they're going on the safari near the Cambodia temple,
Wow.
the Angkor Temple.
Yeah.
So on the back, I'm creating a Angkor Temple scene.
Wow.
And she is on the grounds in front of the temple, and then we're adding Agatha Christie's Poirot,
Okay.
the detective,
Yeah.
at the back, like at the front. Looking for the crime scenes because she
Wow.
loves reading
Yeah.
Agatha Christie.
Okay,
She's the
okay.
biggest fan
Okay,
of
got
Poirot.
you.
Yes, so this is the whole story.
I want to see a picture of the cake once it's finished.
Yeah, sure.
The elephant came out like
And
really
I love
nicely.
making elephant. If you remember, I made an elephant on Is It Cake?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my winning cake on
Yeah.
7th episode, I think. Yeah, that cake took me to finale.
Wow.
Yep. So we are going to attach the hand here.
She's gonna love it. It's so realistic.
Oh, she will.
What's the longest it's taken you to make a cake?
Oh, so the competition piece I was talking about, Durga the
Durga,
Shakti?
okay.
Yes,
okay.
so that was my it took me almost, because that was for competition and
Right.
nobody was going to eat it.
Yeah.
So I could have spent like many days on it, but
Yeah.
I finished in, I think, 15 to 20 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
half
all
a
the
month.
details and yes,
Yeah.
almost half a month, and it was that big because we had to travel with that cake from Katy to Austin.
Okay.
Yeah,
Almost
because the
3
show was-
hours. Yeah.
yes.
Especially because you have to drive slow.
Right.
With such a big.
And the people going behind our like driving behind a van, they were because you can see what's inside.
Yeah.
Everyone was like
Trying to peek
trying
in.
to peek in, like what is this in the back of the car?
Yeah.
That was funny. Yeah, and almost 4 people needed to lift the cake and put it on the
Wow. To transport it. Yeah. How slow did you have to drive? Because it was all assembled, or was it like different pieces?
Kind of, my fingers were crossed all the time while I was traveling.
Yeah.
My husband was driving, and I was like, drive slow, drive slow, drive
Yeah.
slow. He's like, come on, relax. I am driving slow. I was like, yeah, drive slow, more slow.
Did you bring a lot of tools with you just in
I
case,
did,
like,
I
yeah,
did.
you need
I
to
had
stop
to,
and like
yes.
fix it?
I
Yeah.
had to attach few pieces, like kind of, jewelry stuff
Yeah.
of her.
How long did it take you to make this one?
It took me, for the elephant alone, it took me at least 6-7 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So now we'll let you finish that, and now you're adding on some color to it.
Yes.
Some paint. What are we mixing?
So I'm mixing white and black color to make gray tones,
Okay.
and then I'm going to touch it.
For the trunk.
Just highlight some parts,
Yeah.
highlights because when light hits, it looks the highlighted parts look different.
Yeah. I love the details on it.
Thank you.
So now we're gonna talk about this cake. This is a very special cake, a very personal cake for you.
It is.
So yeah, let's talk about it.
So this cake is for my daughter.
Yes.
As you know, she's going to SCAD.
Yes.
She's going to Savannah to pursue her career in fine arts.
Yes.
And she's an artist like me.
She's so talented, so
So
talented.
SCAD's mascot is bee. So that's why I have shown all the bees here, and then she loves flowers, she loves books, she loves cats.
Yeah.
So that's why you can see a mini
little-
tiny cat peeking
Yeah.
out. And then books are here. She loves reading. Like she is such a caterpillar about the book. Because
Yeah.
She eats the book, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get that for sure. And her graduation's coming up soon, and
Yeah,
so
tomorrow is her graduation
okay,
at
wow,
your restaurant.
yes.
We're
So
having her party at Manushi's restaurant.
yes. It's gonna be a showstopper for sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're having a party at Nirman's.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. Wow, this is just such a statement piece. Tell me more.
So she's Baba Yaga.
Okay.
Baba Yaga is a character from Russian folk tales,
Okay.
where this witch, she has these chicken legs and chicken hands and the chicken hair all over body.
Okay.
And she eat and she lives on kids' heads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I made this piece for a collaboration where
Okay.
Russian artists and Indian artists collaborated on these pieces.
Wow.
So Indian artists made the folk tales pieces from Russian folk tales, and Russian artists worked on the Indian
Indian folk tales. Okay.
So that was one fun project, and I'm in love with this cake since.
It tells
And-
so much of a story. Yeah.
It's my very old piece, basically made with rice cereal.
Okay.
That's what
Rice
we do,
Krispies.
Rice Krispies,
Yeah. Okay.
because that's what we do when we're working on the competition pieces,
Yes.
because nobody's going to eat it.
Yes, yes.
And I wanted to keep it for a longer time.
Yeah.
And it's been like 3 years. She's still the same.
Wow. Wow.
She's not
aging. She's not aging.
Yeah, she's not.
Yeah. And these are like skeleton.
Yes, the skeleton
Heads of the kids.
Yes, of the kids she has eaten already.
Wow. It's like Rumpelstiltskin
Uh-huh.
almost. Yeah. And what about her head? Like, what is this like?
These are like the feathers from chicken.
Oh,
Yeah, the
okay.
rooster,
Okay.
actually, yes.
Wow. So she's really like morphed into this whole
Yes,
chicken.
Yes, and
Wow.
she has a hut, and the
Okay.
hut also has a chicken leg.
Oh.
So hut runs when it needs to.
Wow.
Like she travels on that hut and this drum.
Wow. No, that's really something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope it stays forever. Yeah, the
Yes,
Rice
I know.
Krispies. Yeah. No, that's great. Like, thank you so much for, sharing your story, not only with me and
My
just
pleasure.
talking more about it, but with the whole world. And I'm so excited for people to be inspired from you, from your story. And I hope that this encourages more and more people, the ones that are wanting to start off as a cake artist. Take this inspiration, learn from her, reach out to her if you have any questions. She's so helpful and so kind, and she's such an incredible teacher. Like,
Aw,
you saw the
thank
teddy bear I
you.
just made, right? But thank you so
you.
much for your time. And I
Thank
know
you,
you've been
Mansi.
traveling so much, so thank you so much for taking the time out and,
Oh,
being
always.
here. Thank you. Thank you.